Oh, Christ. Hello. Where are we? Here somewhere. It's been nearly a month since I spoke to you guys, actually. And it's been a positive month mentally, I think is the best way. It's 15, 16, it's about, probably 15 months of therapy, weekly therapy. And I think it's actually starting to sink in a positive way. When you have a lot of negative self-talk and you don't have very much self-esteem, or you're very hard on yourself, very negative on yourself, you have all that kind of dragging you down, and it doesn't matter what people say or what people do, internally there's a lot of hate there. It is tricky. You guys probably know this, probably relatable. It's really tricky to feel positive or to see positivity. The thing that I will say is my own experiences these last 15 months. Number one, my place of work has been massive. The positivity that has come from work is unavoidable for me. Like, it's something that I have to acknowledge because it's really difficult to push back against them. I can disagree with them all I like. They don't have any bad word to say about me. My work ethic is what I pride myself on, and I'm able to just bring that to this workplace and actually get things done, and we move in really good ways as a result of my work ethic and my just hunger and motivation to work. It has come back positively to me. The guys that I work for see this. I am rewarded for it. I feel really awkward to be rewarded for it because of my belief system in terms of what work ethic is like. I have an internal belief system that we are supposed to give 110% and expect a bare minimum. So when the reality that you experience is you give that 110% and you're rewarded for your efforts, it doesn't align with your internal belief system. It makes it really, really tricky. I will happily sit here and acknowledge the fact that I am very, very fortunate to have a workplace that does this. I have also been the sort of person that has put that effort in across all my places of work through life, and been met with just people take it for granted. A lot of people will understand what I'm saying there, and you feel that you are just basically getting taken for a ride. You're giving a lot of yourself to your place of employment, and it just then becomes expected of you. So the day that you stop doing extra time or you stop doing extra work, you're made to feel that you are at fault for doing so. You are a problem. I'm lucky in that I've been able to, I've had a small number of jobs, but I've tried to be dedicated to those jobs, and eventually it has landed me where I am. It's easier for me to be able to do that than it is for some people to be able to kind of go through jobs. But I would like to think that I'm not the sort of person that just moves from job to job to job to job to job. I've basically, since turning 18, because I don't count the jobs that I did before that, when I was washing lorries or working as a pot washer and doing washing the pots at a local pub kind of thing. I don't really count those as jobs until you hit 18. But I've worked 3 different jobs since 18, and I've tried to just basically do what I know best and give it my all. And it's not until this latest job that I feel that it actually comes back positively. Not everybody will be so lucky, or at least so lucky. I say so soon, man. I'm nearly, knocking on the door of 40. I don't think it's so lucky so soon, but I do feel that workplace satisfaction has a massive impact on our moods. So with that being one thing, and then counselling being the other thing that's trying to help me work out why my brain thinks how it thinks, and we dig at root causes of things, and we look for the catalyst and where the problem and where my internal struggles started. And there's been a few videos I put out where it sounds like I'm trying to blame people. I completely understand how it comes across. The problem that you got is when a lot of your stuff stems from childhood, you only have so much control over your childhood because things happen around you and to you. You don't necessarily have control over them. And it's a bit of a double-edged sword for me because I'm really tough on myself in terms of I should know better, I should do better, I should be better. There's things that have happened to me in my childhood that have lingered and caused me real heavy mental burdens into present day. And I always feel that I should have handled those situations better, which is unfair because when you experience something at 10 years old, you don't have the knowledge, the ability, the capacity, whatever it might be, to handle things in a different way. We handle them in the way that we handle them. We're kids, you know, it's just what comes through us. But for whatever reason, I am very tough on myself with those sort of things. Other things, it's like trying to understand why I struggle with certain things, and you end up finding the root cause to be your experiences. And when you're a kid, your experiences are your family, those that are around you, your parents, everything else. And a lot of my stuff, unfortunately, does link back to my parents. Now, you get a few people commenting saying, when are you going to take responsibility for your things? And that's fair. I'll be honest, that's completely fair because you guys only hear what I tell you. I don't sit here and tell you about the times that I implode because I'm pretty sure that every decision I've made, I've messed up. I take responsibility for things that I shouldn't take responsibility for. Case in point, I got stranded. I got told I couldn't fly home from a holiday when I was younger because I had an ear infection. If I had flown, then it's like my eardrum would have burst or something. Now, off the back of that, what happened was, obviously it split the family up. I had to have a parent stay with me and a parent had to fly home with my brother. The guilt that I carry to this day, because I feel responsible for splitting my family up when I was a kid, it's insane. It is seriously insane amount of guilt. It's a process that I'm trying to work on, trying to work through, where you acknowledge that things happen to you, not because of you. Unfortunately, as I'm still trying to dig to understand, I can't process it that way. I feel fully responsible. I was the one that it happened to, therefore it's my doing. I am the responsible one for that. Likewise, I am very much aware that I am responsible for all decisions that I've made and reactions that I have given off to interactions or things that have happened to me. There comes many a time, especially with therapy, where we'll sit down and we'll talk and he'll go something along the lines of, do you feel like you are in control of things that happen to you? And it's very much a no, but I feel that I should always react better to those things. And I just don't feel like I ever have. And to tell you guys the truth, the reason why I don't feel like I ever have is because I feel that there's a very specific mold that my life is supposed to be sitting in right now. At the age I am, there is a very specific set of things I should have, like things I should be, you know, that list of almost like where do you see yourself in 7 years' time? It's a very specific thing. And because I don't really have many or any of those things, I just feel like I've endlessly screwed up, regardless of if the reality has been better or worse for me. It doesn't matter. I take full responsibility for not being perfection. And that's a really tricky thing. And that's the latest thing that we've touched on, is trying to understand why I never feel that I'm good enough in anything. And what we are understanding so far is because through positive, supportive ways, I ended up building a belief system that only perfection was good enough. And if I wasn't perfect, then I failed. And it's really interesting how this all kind of comes about and how you talk about stuff. And it goes down the line of when you're a kid and you're trying to do something and your parent tells you, as long as you do your best, what more could we ask for? And then say you do the thing and you do your best, but it doesn't work in your favor. Like say, for argument's sake, say you're running a race and your parents say, as long as you do your best, we'll be proud of you. And you do your best, but you don't win. It's this weird feeling that you let those people down. And it's also this weird feeling that your best is never good enough. And you have to be better than what you are basically capable of. It's an impossible ask, but because it's something that plants its seeds so early on through whatever ways and means, you then grow. And if you're unfortunate enough to have the negative reinforcement of that as you grow through life, it becomes very much a belief system that then becomes automatic, because your experiences are also reinforcing their own negative self-talk. So it becomes really, really shitty, to be honest. Really, really shitty. My latest counselling session has had me kind of realise that, hey, why can I never see the positive? I always seem to only ever see the negative. And I hate that about myself. And the irony there is it's just something else to hate about myself is, hey, I'm not good enough for anything, literally to the point where I only ever see the negative side of stuff. I hate that I only see the negative side of my stuff, which then doubles down on that internal negativity. But I will say, being conscious, aware that that is what happens, being able to sit here and say, I do feel negative about myself, about everything, and knowing that I see the negativity in everything is a bad trait. Like those two things, like seeing that negativity and acknowledging that that's all you do, it kind of helps you start to rearrange your ducks, get your ducks in a row, trying to understand the system, because you're acknowledging, okay, this is something we do. Why do we do it? Don't know yet. Haven't worked that one out. We need to dig a little bit deeper for it. And the sad thing, the really sad thing is, I'm starting to get to the point now where when we're digging to the past, I can only remember so far, because it's like beyond that point is when you're a toddler, and I can't remember anything from when I was a toddler, you know, like a proper little babby. I don't really remember anything from that. So it's really, really tough, because being somebody who likes to understand, I like reason, I like knowledge, I like to understand what's going on. It's basically saying, hey, you're like this, and you're going to have to accept that you're like this, because you're never going to find the answer to all the why, because that's gone now. That's at a time that you can't remember. So you just got to understand that this is something that is like you. This is where you're at now, and we have to work with this going forwards to break it down, to release the unknown. It's basically to accept the unknown, accept that we'll never find the root cause of it, but then change it going forwards so that it doesn't continue its path. don't get me wrong, like, there's still a lot of days where you can just wake up sometimes and you just feel like, what's the point? There's no heavy burden at the moment. There hasn't been for quite a while, and I really appreciate that feeling. But there's still days where you just, you know what I mean? Where you can just open your eyes in the morning and be like, oh yeah, I am as old as I am. I am still living at home. What's the point? And the point is to keep trying, to keep going, not to get beaten by the mind. It's the willingness to prove myself better. You know, it's that expectation of perfection, falling short of perfection, that leaves this horrible I'm not good enough feeling. But it's getting to a point where other people's positivity in me is making it harder to keep that belief system of I'm not good enough. I 100% don't like the fact that I need external validation, but I appreciate that for the last 15 months, that external validation has been. I love getting interrupted whilst I try and do these videos, man. But what I was saying is I hate the fact that external validation is something that I need to make the difference. But I really, really appreciate that for the last 15 months, the external validation has really helped fight the internal negativity. It's really, really hard to constantly be tough on yourself if outside sources are telling you otherwise. Especially when it starts off with them giving you positivity about the one thing that you can be kind of proud about. It's like the one thing I pride myself on is my work ethic. I would disagree that I'm, you know, trustworthy or I'm a good worker or anything else. It doesn't fit right with me. But if somebody sits there and goes, you do work hard, I'm able to go, I do, because that's something that I feel within myself. So it starts with that. It starts with somebody actually giving you the positive reinforcement on something that you already believe about yourself positively. And then there's the times that you question them. I don't feel like I'm good enough. You know, why are these guys like, you know, giving me more responsibility? Why are they giving me promotion? Why they pay me more money for doing what it is that I do when that's the expected level for me? It's really difficult to push back to people. I'm very, very fortunate that the guys that I work with are around my age, and I think for the first time in my life, the mental side of things is actually taken into account. It's not something that's tiptoed around. It's not like, oh, we've got to be cautious here. It's, you can say so much without saying so much. You just let them know that you're just working through stuff, and they'll always ask how I am, and they're very open to me to say things, and they won't ever dig, they won't ever push, but they're always there to help when help's needed. And I feel that my return for them is to work damn hard and make things happen. And it does, you know, it works. It's a weird partnership that works. And likewise, I feel that in general, people around me, I've started to feel are more positive anyway. Now, I don't know if that's what comes first. I always try to be positive outwardly to those that I interact with. At work, I always try to be upbeat because there's a few of us at work that are spicy minded, and I think it helps them that I understand. So without saying too much, you don't need to drag them down. You're able to read a person and try and bring them up. And I tell you what, it's really worked wonders for everybody, I feel. And I do feel it's that whole, you are the, what's it, like 7 people that you surround yourself with. I spend a lot of time at work. Everybody is understanding and tries to be positive at work for each other and for themselves. Everybody's trying to like acknowledge when people have done something good, even if they can't do it themselves. It's really weird feeling where I feel today versus where I was 6 months ago, definitely 12 months ago, kind of thing. I feel that my highs and lows aren't so vastly different, which is what bipolar is all about. Bipolar is the extreme highs and then the extreme lows. I feel that those peaks and valleys, the extreme highs, extreme lows, aren't so far. And for those extreme valleys, that extreme high and that extreme low, they aren't so far apart. So that high and then the low doesn't make the low terrible. I don't know how to explain it. It's more a little bump, it's little wiggles. It's way more manageable than extreme highs and extreme lows. That does sound like I don't have potentially like times of joy and happiness, but I do. And it does feel different. It's not like this ecstatic, overwhelming joy. It's more of an actual internal pleasing contentment. And I don't know how to explain that because it feels internally, it feels a deeper pleasure of joy and happiness. And I feel it, I feel it in my bones. It's the only way I can explain it. It's like, it's a warming happiness rather than like a fleeting happiness, if that makes sense. I feel that my overall mood is more content and positive. That is, I won't lie, that is massively helped by the fact that I have been working really hard and being rewarded as a result. I've been getting a rise, I've been getting more responsibility, and it really helps because I don't want to say that I don't like the idea that money changes me. I don't like the idea that money changes people, but the reality of it is it can offer you security, it can offer you all those things that help everything else. If you're struggling financially and you are working paycheck to paycheck, the stress that comes through that, if you have bills that you've got to pay, is terrible. So if you get to a point where you're still probably working paycheck to paycheck, say, but that paycheck's actually bigger, if you're smart with it, you're able to put some away. And once you start being able to put some away and watching that little pot grow, and you're not stressing so much of being able to pay your bills because you're actually getting more money come in, the relief that you feel is insane. And I think that for me is where I'm at, because it's like the first time in my life I've been able to look at my dreams and see them as potentials that could happen, not just some far-fetched distant dream. And when I say that, I'm not looking at like wild fantasy dreams. I'm looking at being an adult and being able to grow up and have the things that I would like. To take them from basically a fantasy to a reality at the minute, because everybody knows prices and everything can change. You can lose your job, like it can all go wrong, but it's a massive motivating factor when your dream is all kind of misty and it's far-fetched almost, and that mist starts to disappear and that picture becomes clearer and you realize, hey, this could be within reach. Like, it could become a reality. That is a very, very weird feeling. And I feel that money has definitely changed me in that respect, in that it's helped me align my potential reality to what I wish I had by now, if that makes sense. Like the place where I thought I would be is actually in sight to be achievable. It's mental. Like, I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how to share it. But when you feel that relief that all your efforts through life are actually finally proven to be worth it. When you feel that you're a decent person, but you've just been hitting roadblocks for your entire life through one way or another, and sometimes it makes you question your character, it makes you question so much about yourself, but you're determined not to change who you are because you genuinely believe inside you're a good person, you know. To have that feel that it's actually starting to turn around is such a nice feeling. I am petrified in talking about it though, because I do feel, if you go find my video about being a jinx, I do feel that it's only a matter of time before it all falls away and that bubble bursts. So I am very reluctant to actually talk about it, and I try to just be in the moment and just power through, because at any point it could be taken away. So I'm trying to do what I can to secure myself, or secure, yeah, all I can think of is secure myself as best as I can, just in case whatever happens 6 months down the line, something goes pop. I'm trying to move correctly. I'm trying to move without getting caught up in the fantasy and the excitement of it all. I'm trying to move with purpose so that it doesn't just go pop and the reality that's almost in reach becomes a pipe dream again. It comes with a little bit of self-belief, which is really, really difficult when you feel you don't have any. I hope you guys are good. I appreciate it. It's been a good month internally for me. I know it's probably not the same for everybody else, but I do hope you're able to take your time, work your way through things, work stuff out, because it does get better. Weird, it does get better, but it totally all starts with yourself, and you have to be willing to change. You have to be willing to be open to the idea of change. You have to be accepting that things need to change, and I think that's what did it for me. I might not necessarily agree with or believe everything that I'm being told when I go to counselling, but I'm like, I'm willing, you know, and being willing is the massive, massive part of it all. You can't just dismiss everything and throw it away like, what's the point? Or, it's not fair, or whatever else. You have to be willing. You have to be willing. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you. I appreciate you all. Cheers.